Hello class, I'm here to walk you through or introduce you to our microscope and how to correctly use and care for our microscope. The really important aspects of this are that we keep our microscopes in good condition, and by using the microscope using proper technique you can save yourself time and aggravation. So as you get your microscope, what you'll want to do is unravel the cord, plug that in to your desktop. One other thing, typically when you use a microscope at a research setting, the eyepiece will be facing the front. So you may wish to turn it that way. To do so, you just loosen this little thumb screw, rotate around, and tighten it up. However, if you do use your microscope this way, at the end of lab, it is your responsibility to put it back to its original position. The reason for this is that the microscope will not fit in our cabinets if they're in this location. Now, when you use the microscope to turn on the light source, is in the front of the microscope. This is the front of the microscope. Flip that on. You will start off, always use the scanning lens in place. So here we've got the scanning lens. I'll show you this. This is the lens with the red band on it. So this is our lowest magnification. You will have that over the center of the stage. You will also use the coarse adjustment knob right here to lower the stage. You can take your slide. You'll pull back on the little lever on the slide clips. Put the slide in and then release the lever. So then we can use the mechanical stage knobs, which are right here, to move our slide so that the object or the subject of the slide is right over the center glass. Now, one other thing we want to be careful of, or we want to do, is in the center of the stage is where the light will be coming through. We want to adjust the light level at the start. So you probably can tell here that as I adjust this lever, this is the iris diaphragm lever. If I move it to the left, there's more light coming through, and if I move it to the right, there's less light coming through. Whenever we start looking at an object, we always want it with the iris diaphragm to the far right, and that will protect our eyes so it's not too bright. The last step is we want to raise our stage all the way up. As we look through the ocular, we will then be able to see the subject. It might be blurry. Just use your coarse adjustment knob at this point to bring the specimen into focus. If you cannot get it fully in focus, we may need to clean our lenses. So to clean our lenses, we have Windex, and we'll always use lens paper. So you'll take off a piece of the lens paper, tear it out to clean the lenses. You can also wet that with Windex if your objective lenses need cleaning as well. If I want to look at this slide under higher power, what I will do is I'll use my mechanical stage knob. So I've got it in focus under scanning power. I'm going to use my mechanical stage knobs to center the specimen. Then I will rotate using the revolving nose piece so that the low power lens is over my specimen. As I'm looking through the objective lens, I can then use the coarse adjustment to bring it sharply into focus. I may want to use the fine adjustment as well at this point. If I'm going to look at this under high power, what I will do is again center the specimen. Now these scopes are set up, they are what we call parfocal, so when you go from one lens to the next, it should stay fairly close in focus. Now I've got this in focus, say I've got this in focus under low power. I can now switch it to high power. Now it's very important that when we look at this under high power, we may need to focus, but under high power, we only use the fine adjustment knob. Never ever use the coarse adjustment knob. The reason for this is that you are focused on a very, very thin layer using the high power lens. If you use the coarse adjustment knob, you're going to move that focus way out of line, and you're going to have to start all over. The other thing, other possibility, is that you could turn it the wrong way and drive the lens into the slide, breaking the slide, in which case you may not be able to see the specimen at all. So that could damage your ability to complete the lab. The third thing that could happen is you drive the lens into the slide and not only break the slide, but damage the lens, in which case you will not see anything under high power for the rest of the lab. So that will really set you back quite a bit. When you're done with the lab, or done with the slide, what you want to do is go back to scanning power, lower your stage down, and get your next slide. One of the things I do see students do incorrectly, maybe they've got their slide in focus under high power, they think, well, I've got it in focus, I'll just put the next slide in and it'll be in focus. I would strongly discourage you from that, as one, these slides are of various thicknesses, so it may not be in focus. Also, you'll really lose some of the bigger picture view. So that can be very helpful to figure out where in that specimen you're actually looking. So certainly, always remove the slide, scanning power, lower the stage down, and as I finish up, I turn off my light, return the eyepiece back to its original conformation, and I am all set. So, using this basic technique, you can have a good experience with the microscope, and that is certainly our plan. If you have questions during lab, don't hesitate to ask.